For 2 years, State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs has been the face of COVID response in Mississippi. But in just a few months, he'll leave the agency about a year, he says, earlier than he planned. Only on 16 WAPT tonight, he talked to us about what he's learned, what he would change, and what's next in the pandemic in Mississippi.
That is at the point where I had to actually get an extra cell phone and hire someone just to simply answer my phone. Otherwise, I couldn't get any work done. Because, everybody was calling, like, I need PPE. Everybody.
He might be the most well-known state health officer Mississippi has ever had. 2 years ago, Dr. Thomas Dobbs was in the thick of the beginning of COVID-19, with daily briefings carried live across the state.
We'll wait and see what the data shows and what CDC says about it.
What really was painfully apparent as it hit in, as the pandemic kicked in, was that our healthcare infrastructure was woefully dependent upon a very tenuous supply chain. And, the PPE, that was the biggest challenge.
Acquiring PPE and keeping COVID case counts low, flattening the curve, were the initial goals. Dr. Dobbs says the early decisions to close schools, restaurants, salons, and other businesses were at first met with understanding. He says the most pushback came from some doctors over the state health department's decision to cancel elective surgeries.
I sat in several rooms with some angry doctors for a while who really didn't understand why they couldn't. But, it was a tough time.
But about 6 months into the pandemic, Dr. Dobbs saw the public mood shift from COVID panic to complacency.
What I would hope would have been a more love thy neighbor sort of response, where I don't want to get COVID because I don't want to give it to someone who's vulnerable. That never really took hold.
That, coupled with an overwhelming desire to return to normal, coincided in July with the surge of the Delta variant.
People's fixation on high school athletics, I think, is a real Achilles heel for us, because people were willing to close schools. Sincerely, people were willing to close schools so long as they could still have sports on the weekends. So that did kind of surprise me and frustrated me.
Mississippi made national headlines, the highest mortality rate in the country. The variant left more than 2,400 people dead, and the state saw more than 171,000 cases from mid-July to mid-October.
During the Delta surge, I really just despondent, because almost all those deaths, almost all of them were preventable. And we just lost thousands of people who just didn't have to die.
Dobbs says he is proud of vaccination numbers in older Mississippians and in Black Mississippians, but he calls the response among white Mississippians under the age of 60 largely a failure.
I think the danger that we're in right now is that we're going to lose more people because they don't take it seriously enough to go see their doctor.
He says the beginning of this new phase of the pandemic persuaded him now was the time to exit the agency.
The health department's at an inflection mode where we're sort of coming off the pandemic response and are taking on new, vast and phenomenal responsibilities like the marijuana program. It's good. It's a good time to identify new leadership who can sort of look toward this next sort of phase of the Department of Health responsibilities, versus me sticking around for another year and leaving it sort of unfinished.
Dr. Dobbs says he's returning to the practice of medicine. He says it's just time. He's interested in HIV and AIDS research and healthcare disparities. He says he will be staying around the metro, though, so you may still see him.